Hello, checking.
Hello, are you alive?
Yeah, I'm here. The first time I had to hang up because the sound was awful. There was a lag. I couldn't even hear what you're saying. I apologize. I had to dial it again. Can you
Okay.
do the introduction if it's not too much trouble once more?
Okay. Today we're going to talk about cupcakes. I love cupcakes. They are smaller than a cake. They are larger than a cookie. They can go with you in your car. You can take them on a walk in the woods. You can take them to a kid's birthday party. You can just sit around and eat a couple by yourself. There is nothing bad about cupcakes. I believe that they could be the solution to many, many problems if we would make, bake, and eat more cupcakes. I love the picture on our cover shot.
Yeah, I made them myself. I think not enough. There is not enough cream on my cupcakes, but well, next time I'll improve the recipe. Um, I told you before that men are the best cooks, like way better than women. And but somehow the society thinks that's not the way it is. Thinks otherwise.
Well,
And
I don't even think it needs to be a battle. And if there's not enough cream on the cupcake this time, there's always next time. And what one of the things I like about baking and cooking is that whether you follow a recipe or you just kind of make up something, it's very creative, it's very original, and it always smells really good in the house. And what did you put into yours? It looks like there's a little bit of maybe cinnamon, or what are some of the things you put into that cupcake recipe?
yeah, I call it vanilla cupcake, and it's quite easy. Everything is easy about cupcakes. The tip, I mean, the goal is to make your cupcakes more moist. Mine are always dry. I can't find that middle ground when I have to stop. And
Okay.
yeah, because that'd be like easier to decorate and tasty.
Well, one of the things you can do is if you're using egg, use more yolk and less white. And then another thing you can do is to keep the inside moist, but the top a little bit crispy, is you can, well, this is what I do. You can turn the oven off and then hit broil, and it will make the top crispy and it'll pull the whole thing up. So when I lived in Turkey, I learned to cook all kinds of things on this really weird little stove that only had it was you plug it in and it only had a broiler at the top. So it was actually just kind of like a broiler. But what what you can do at a conventional oven is like you set the temperature. Let's suppose the cooking is say for 30 minutes or 45 minutes or whatever.
No, sorry to interrupt. I cooked now at 20 minutes, 25 max.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
okay, yeah, about 30 minutes. Yeah, or yeah, 25 minutes. But what you could do is if you want the inside to stay more moist is turn off the stove and only put the broiler on for about like 4 minutes. And what it'll do, it'll pull the dough up, but you have to stand there and watch it, then pull it out real quick and stick it on the top of the oven and it on an area to cool down. That way, it'll pull up more, and the inside will be moist, and the top will still be a little bit crispy, crunchy. But what you did looks great.
yeah, thank you. I'm a sucker for for cupcake. I told you before that I would maybe in another life, but I would have made a great baker, I think, if I were I don't know what. But I'm getting into baking recently, and I love it. And what I love everything that comes with making cupcakes. So, what's your favorite cupcake?
Okay, well, I just want to say choosing banking or baking I think that you may have found a new profession for this new phase that you're in. Oh, I don't know. I like well, there's cupcake and then there's muffin. Okay, so those are a little bit different. I like things that have spices like cinnamon, or you can shred a little tiny bit of like orange peel, or it's called zesting. Zest a lemon. You could put tiny bits of the zest into your, like, let's suppose you made a regular vanilla batter. You just start with a basic batter and you want to put a couple little things in it. You could put like a couple cranberries and then just a tiny bit of orange zest and then a little bit of cinnamon. Like those flavors are nice in the fall. Cinnamon and orange and that sort of thing.
You know
Also,
what flavor is even more nice? The ones with Irish whiskey in it.
yeah,
Sometimes I experiment. I love it.
really, really. Well, I was thinking that type of a cupcake would be really good with a coffee next to it. Like an Irish coffee with whiskey. That would be great. I'm ready for the fall. I'm ready for summer to be over, and cupcakes are a nice transition. Also, making a whole cake is such a project, and if it doesn't come out really, really well, it could lead to low self-esteem. Like if it's not perfectly shaped, or like one part of it's too hard, or you didn't make enough frosting. But if you make cupcakes, your self-esteem can stay intact, and you can just kind of like work around any possible mistakes. Like if part of two of the cupcakes kind of collapsed a little bit on the top, well, just throw in more frosting on top of that, and everyone happy. I think that cupcake therapy can be the good way to go. There are several shops here in Dallas. One is called Royal Bakery, and they sell the most expensive cupcakes in the world. Like they're so expensive, but they use real ingredients, like real eggs, real butter, real vanilla extract, and they have really nice hot different flavors of coffee. So people don't mind paying more money if it's a quality experience.
Go on.
Well, and so I was thinking that in this novel by Marcel Proust called À la recherche du temps perdu, In Search of Lost Time, there's one chapter called Swan's Way, where the narrator is having a cup of tea, and he takes this little kind of cookie that's called a madeleine, and he dips it into the cup of tea a little bit, and then he nibbles on it, and the sensation and the smell of the dipping the little sweet into the hot tea sends him back into some memories of when he was younger and some wonderful experiences. So, yeah, I think cookies, madeleines, cupcakes. I have never had a bad experience while a cupcake was present. How about you?
No, me neither. But I treat it as I consider cupcake as a treat, not an everyday food, everyday meal. I'm trying to minimize it because you have to keep in balance your protein and fats, and I don't know, whatever it is that you have to keep an eye on if you're into fitness. So it really depends on how you like it and how your body processes the cupcake. Because some people, they don't like sugar. If they have a cupcake, if I don't get sugar, I'm getting cranky. Really, I need something to eat, like very
Well,
sugary,
that's what I
especially if there's
say. Yeah,
Irish whiskey in it. But
people
some
people
people
who
are
don't
just,
like yeah, some people that don't like sugar, that can't eat wheat, or like they're allergic to stuff. Like, well, just go to another planet. This
yeah,
this is a planet where we eat meat and we use sugar and we drink whiskey and we put real butter. And I don't know. I mean, if you're always
Like once a
trying
week,
to,
I'll eat it once a week. Like usually after some kind of a meal with healthy fats, because I'm into that stuff.
yeah. Well,
Fiber,
I'm not
protein, and
really
fat.
into being healthy. I'm into being happy. It's
Yeah,
true.
that's good.
Well, if I made 12 cupcakes, okay, well, my friend David Anton, he likes peanut butter. So I've also thought about putting a tiny, let's suppose you make your batter, your vanilla batter, and you put just a tiny blob of peanut butter in the center of a couple of them. So I could make the batter and fill up the tray of 12 cupcakes. 12 is usually what's in my tray. I could make maybe 4 of them that have a little bit peanut butter in them. Then I have another friend that likes spices. But like if I had 12 cupcakes, I could eat them very easily. But what I would probably do is like take a couple to a few friends, like my friend Miss Elia, who's a therapist over at Holy Trinity. It's her birthday, and I'm taking her something. It was her birthday, so I might take her one. But um, I, I would also eat one with her while we're doing a therapy session, and then I would go drop another one to my friend David and like, hey, why don't we have some coffee with this cupcake I brought you? And he would make coffee. So it would be hard for me to discipline myself to only have.
Good for you. You have a friend David, because I have only one friend, as you already know, that Jack, the Daniels, but when you said like being healthy versus being happy, I thought, well, it feels like all the rules for being healthy means that this is just gonna be impossible for me. I
Well,
don't know. I cannot keep
yeah,
up.
I know. Like we have discussed this before during the pandemic when many people were trapped at home, many of us put on weight. And I like to cook and I like to eat and I like to drink bourbon in my coffee. So I put on some weight and all the gyms were closed and our finances were down because not everyone was able to work from home. So I just decided, since my blood pressure was up and my weight was up, I have to lose some weight because I enjoy living and don't want to die. So I just, I stopped having sugar at home, coffee at home, alcohol at home, and salt at home. And I was able to take off about 50 pounds in about a year. But I haven't quit all those things. I'm just trying to use them in moderation, like you say. So like right now, what do I have? I don't have enough sugar. I have a nice bottle of Maker's Mark. I have butter. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's very hard to like. I don't count calories.
Did you have a food pyramid? Do you know what a food pyramid is?
I invented the food pyramid. At the base of it is
You did?
chocolate. At the base is chocolate. On top of that is
The great recommendations. I would have liked to listen more about that for the bottom line.
no. If I was going to invent a food pyramid, at the bottom would be chocolate. And then on next to that would be like dairy, like cheese and milk and ice cream. Then on
It
top
doesn't
of
work
that
like
would
that.
no. I'm telling you my food pyramid. You're going to do your food
Okay.
pyramid in a minute. The bottom is chocolate and everything that's made from chocolate. Then on top of including chocolate liqueur, chocolate candies, chocolate sauce. Okay, then next is all dairy products, cream and milk and custards. And then on top of that is alcohol. At the top of the food pyramid is vegetables, used very sparingly.
Well, I think you've been very happy with your food intake, judging by what you've just said. Yeah, I like it. I like what you said. I'm telling you about my food pyramid because some people love low fat thing and it works for them. Other people love some other thing and it works for them. And if you pick the diet plan that's not working for you, that sucks. I mean,
Well, what would you like
keep
to
up
have
the
in
good
your
work.
food pyramid? If you, I know pretty well at the bottom of the food pyramid for you would be Jack Daniels, but you need to have something more solid, like What
Like
what would you
vodka?
put? No, no, no. That's alcohol. What kind of a if we put Jack Daniels and alcohol at the bottom of your food pyramid, I feel like it's going to just wash away. But what would be some things you would put on your food pyramid, like, Jack Daniels and vodka and Bloody Marys? And then what would be the next step of the food pyramid, your imaginary food pyramid?
Fruits and vegetables, I think. Fruits and vegetables and Jack Daniels.
You would put, no, wait a minute. We're going from the bottom up. You got
That
Jack
be
Daniels
down.
at the bottom. Then next, you're going to put fruits and vegetables. You're not going to put meat, chicken Kiev, and shish kebab and like steaks. You're going to put
Uh,
vegetables before steaks and meat?
let me think. If the Jack Daniels at the bottom, right? Then the second
Yes.
level would be fruits and vegetables.
You'd rather have a tomato than a steak?
Well, I love tomatoes, cucumbers, and onion in a
You'd rather have
salad.
an onion than a chicken Kiev?
Absolutely. I wouldn't even touch chicken if I had an onion. And the potato, no, not the potato, the tomatoes,
Oh yeah.
like they're delicious. Tomatoes, they are like,
Okay.
yeah, especially if
Okay.
they're
Well,
Italian and
let's just call it root vegetables: carrots, garlic, onions. Green leafy
tomatoes.
vegetables. Well, green leafy vegetables are for cows and donkeys.
Okay, what is tomato? I don't know if it's a root or green leaves. I
Okay.
don't.
Okay. So there's the ground, and there's above the ground and below the ground. So root vegetables grow below the ground. You have to yank
Like a
them out of the
carrot or
ground,
a potato.
like a
Okay.
carrot or a potato, or a green leafy vegetable has all the leaves at the top, like chard or like lettuce or like spinach.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
No, I'm thinking potato, tomato. Is it like green, what you call green vegetable, right? But it's not green, red.
I know, but it grows on a vine and it grows above the ground. So the basic separation, think of a dichotomous chart. It's either above or below the ground. So eggplant, is that above or I'm going to give you a test. Eggplant, is that grown above or below the ground?
Oh, actually, I've just familiarized myself with the food pyramid like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I know that was a normal practice in the US, but I haven't seen it before
Wait a
in
minute,
Soviet Union.
I'm doing therapy with you. We're going
Right.
over vegetables. So is a potato under the ground or over on top of the ground? Where does it
Under.
basically grow?
I confused the potato with tomato.
Okay, now we're just relax. We're going to do a couple more examples for our
My
for our
anxiety level
listeners.
just went up.
I think you can pass this test. Okay,
Yeah.
carrot, where is it basically grown?
Underground, of course. Everybody knows that.
No, we're not talking about everyone. We're talking about you.
Yeah, it's
Eggplant.
underground. When I was a child, I ate a lot. I had such a
Eggplant.
healthy teeth at the moment.
Eggplant.
Eggplant? I don't really enjoy eggs. I apologize if that upsets
Have you
you,
ever
but
pulled an eggplant out of the soil? No, it's above the ground. Okay,
eggplant,
cherry
red flavored chicken.
tomatoes.
Oh, I love tomatoes.
Cherry tomatoes, are they basically grown under the ground or are they basically grown above the ground?
Above.
See, you know quite a bit. What about
Yeah.
a cabbage?
Cabbage above. I love cabbages because they don't have much to take care of because they just grow. You seed them and then you harvest.
Yeah,
I love them.
yeah,
I love everything which not required lots of effort from my side.
yeah. That's how a lot of men feel about women. That's how men
Women?
feel
No,
about.
I'm talking about food. I'm
No,
talking
I'm
about
talking
food
about
because
women.
what woman and food they got nothing in common, would they?
No, you said you like vegetables that don't require a lot of effort.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're talking about food pyramid, and you said no, that same applies to women. I said no way, because every woman I had or I've been with, they like required lots of effort, except few I didn't like, but they were really loved into me.
Yeah, well, what's what I'm saying. Actually, we only have a certain amount of time. Like we all have 24 hours, so we can spend our 24 hours working, driving our car. We can walk. Tony Carnes walks. Mark Stevens has a car that always needs repair. David Anton just traded in his.
A little bit sad.
Sad or mad?
I feel sad because I remember that good women that were into me and I wasn't into them, and I thought, how's that fair?
Just hold that thought. David Anton has a new truck, so shout out to all the new vehicles. Now, back to your life and therapy. The women liked you, but you didn't like them, so just let it go. You cannot go back. Life goes forward.
Yeah, but I know that all, but just all the rules and all this feeling happy and being happy, that makes me
sad.
Are they even the same thing or not? I don't know.
No, it's true.
Do you have any thoughts on this issue? You're a philosopher, right? You're a professor. And you discuss this in depth with students and colleagues, professor. And I'm curious because this is a question that is actually impacting my life. I find a lot of ways to be happy that aren't necessarily optimal. So I thought you could share a tip with me. And if I'm deceiving myself, is that fine?
No, well, I feel like one of the bits of advice that I have given to friends and to students and even to myself is, let's see, what was it? Low expectations, high spirits, which means keep your energy up, keep your hope up, keep your joy of life up, but don't have very many expectations. That way you won't be disappointed, because if you're not expecting anything, and if anything happens good, it's like a reward. So a lot of people experience a lot of stress around the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, birthdays, mother-in-law's birthday, your kid's birthday, there's a lot of, going on a first date, going on a second date. There's a lot of expectations and anxiety around meeting people. And if you keep your expectations low and
I don't like it. I'm sorry to say that, but let's agree to disagree. Like you lower your expectations. It's like being dead. Okay, you have no expectations at all. Doesn't mean you're happy.
No, what I mean is don't overly expect something to be amazing, because most of the time everything isn't amazing. And if anything turns out to be amazing, you kind of had nothing to do with it. It just happened. Like if I think of some of the joyful moments of my life, I didn't really work too hard to get them. They were just kind of gifted to me, meeting a certain person or going a certain place. Or once I found an Armani suit, a 3-piece Armani suit, pants, jacket, and the vest. I found it hanging on a tree in a very ritzy part of Dallas, Highland Park. I was just driving along looking at the houses, and I saw some art on the curb, and I saw this suit hanging on a tree. And I just understood that someone was giving it away, so I just put it in my car, and it fit Alex perfectly. Imagine that you are Alex, and someone has just brought you an Armani suit that fits perfectly. How does that make you feel?
Well, I can't switch places with somebody else. I can't even imagine that. But
no, I mean, a lot of really nice stuff.
I'm not into Armani, so I don't know what.
Well, I mean, it could be a Rolex watch. It could. I'm just saying that, like.
Men don't need that. Let me tell you this. You think like if you've given a man like Armani suit, somehow different from if you've just hugged him and. Sincerely, I mean, some would prefer actually hugging. I'm a hugger. I'm not. There's nothing to be ashamed of. But
you're not a hugger.
I'd exchange. I'd exchange like in no way like few Armani suits for a good hug.
Yeah, but this one I didn't
with
even
the
have
woman
to.
I. Hmm?
You hugged a woman?
Yeah, I would have changed, switched a few, or traded like the Armani suit for a good hug with a woman I really, really into or I really like. But there's always someone better. That's my problem. Can I ask you a question?
I'm kind of astonished. Okay, yeah, you can ask a question just a second. The point of my little story was like some of the really great things happened. I didn't pay anything for, and I didn't even plan. I didn't even plan to go down that street, but somehow this suit was on a tree, and it happened to fit someone that I knew. So, I guess I guess my point is, if I'm expecting to have happy and great things happen to me, sometimes they don't happen. But sometimes, if I'm not even expecting, sometimes a suit just falls out of the sky, or a really great painting is on the side of the road, or I don't know. Okay, what's my question? Your question?
Yeah, first of all, anxiety check. Mine is about 4. What's yours?
I was okay until we started talking.
The therapy works both ways.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really great. Now I want to know, where is that suit? And when I asked him where it was, he said he left it at someone's house. Why is he wearing a suit that I gave him at someone else's house? And why did he leave it there?
Would you be offended or if I say
Yes,
like
I
I
would. Yeah, I
couldn't
hate it
care
when a
less
man
why?
starts off with whenever a man starts off by saying, "Would you be offended?" Before he even gives me the questions, I say yes. Because if you need to preface your question with "Would you be a friend offended?"
No, let's call him right now and ask why the fuck did he do that? Why did he leave his suit in other woman's
I
apartment?
didn't say it was a woman's house. Why did you say it was a woman's house?
That's what you said.
Well, she had a red Vespa,
Yeah.
and she was wearing white short shorts and a white tank top.
When should I feel? When should I start feeling the effect of healthier therapy of our therapy? Can you like?
I don't
Now,
know.
back to expectations. I'm still thinking. What if I'm having like high expectation? I have to make it lower. Is there any way I can make it lower my expectations to feel happy? How can I
Um,
do that? The
well,
secret. Tell me a secret to happiness and compassion.
the secret to happiness. Well,
Lower
it's a
your
secret.
expectations. You already told me that, but you didn't tell me how.
No,
How
what I
can I
mean
lower
is,
my expectations?
while keeping your overall joy of life alive, like making cupcakes or going for a walk or chopping wood or getting in an elevator, whatever makes you happy, while keeping your general joy of life activities going, don't have unrealistic expectations about a job interview or a date or meeting with your in laws or getting a nifty text back from someone you met at a coffee shop. I'm saying, while you're going along with your regular life, chop wood, carry water, go
And
to
just
work,
something great just happened to me. I realized one thing which I'd like to share with you.
tell me.
Like, imagine that you have that emotional battery inside of you,
A
metaphorically
battle?
speaking. Battery. Like your phone has a battery, and imagine that you have a battery too,
I have a
metaphorically
battle.
speaking. No,
Go
not,
ahead.
not the battle. BATBFTERY.
RY.
Battery.
I've got a
Yeah.
battery.
So you have a battery, emotional, okay? And that battery is charged every way you have positive emotions. And it
Yeah.
discharge every time you have negative emotions. You deplete it if you have negative emotions.
Oh,
And
yeah, that's a good image. That's good.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like the idea. Do you see my point? So if you want
Yes.
to recharge your battery, right? You don't want to drain yourself
I
because you
take a
have
nap.
negative emotions. Yeah,
Yeah.
but when you take a nap, you don't have any emotions. But when
Yes,
you're
I
up,
do.
you
I'm
have.
having emotions. I'm having emotions while I'm napping.
You mean like you having lucid dreams or something?
No, I mean, napping is not nothing. Napping is something. it's feeling the sheets feel so great, the air conditioner feels so great. There's something cooking in the other room. Maybe somebody's going to come over later. Napping is great. And
Yeah,
I would
okay.
get,
Well, that's one of the ways you recharge your battery. You get back your emotional energy every time you nap.
or like going
Yeah.
out dancing. Like, I don't even care who I'm dancing with. Then the person can tell me, hello, my name is, and I'm not even listening, I'm just dancing, listening to the music. Hi, could I buy you a drink? The answer to all that is yes. Like, would you like to dance again? No. So going dancing is recharges my battery. Driving around in nature, looking at the lake, that recharges my battery. Eating really
Nice.
great food, seeing cupcakes. Yeah, there's a lot of things that
And
recharge.
not nice because as a human, all humans struggle, right? And why would we want to deplete our emotional battery in a constant struggle with something, with life?
Because we're
Okay, because
living
it's
in
full of changes.
2023. We're living in like post-COVID, all kinds of wars going on around the world, power outages, families are kind of a wreck. I mean, I didn't want to
Okay.
remind you about the realities, but there's stuff
Yeah.
blowing
Okay.
up all the time. I mean, in Texas, we've had some spontaneous fires. West of Dallas is Fort Worth, and there have been houses that just catch on fire, grass fires that just burn a whole house and an apartment building down. And, I just wake up and I turn on my phone. It's like, wow. And they have this little alerts like 12 minutes away from you is a fire out of control. It's like, oh, okay, well, maybe I won't go up. No, I'm serious. I have to drive up on highway. I don't go on Highway 75, but right at the intersection of 75 and 635, those are two huge freeways, is a bookstore I like to go to, Half Price Books. And near it is a little German delicatessen. So I like to go there. So I was kind of thinking of going there later, but I turned on my phone and there's an out of control grass fire about like 12 minutes for where I'm going. And then last time I was there, I think I told you that I had gone to this German delicatessen because somebody wanted to buy some art or something. And as I was going there, I turned off of Greenville Avenue and I saw three police cars with their sirens on and their lights flashing zoom by me. And I kept thinking like, wow, those are policemen keeping Dallas safe. And then I did my day and I went home, blah, 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 and just kind of checked my phone. And I saw that there was like an escaped murderer who the police had found. No, I'm serious. It was an escaped convict murderer guy who had been found, or his car had been identified up off of Greenville Avenue. And I kept thinking, DANG, dang, that's what those three police cars were chasing. I'm not even exaggerating.
No, I believe you. I think, in fact, I think this is like the high time to complete today's episode about cupcakes because everything there is to know about cupcakes. And yeah, and thanks for sharing. And also, that was nice talking to you.
Okay, well, adios to our subscribers and have a cupcake day.
Bye bye.